My stepmother sent a brutal text giving me 30 days to get out of her house. She called me disrespectful, ungrateful, and a burden that she was finally done with. It was a long, furious message, designed to put me in my place and leave me scrambling. But she made one critical mistake. She sent that text one day too late. Our storyteller was living in a house that had stopped feeling like a home a long, long time ago. It was their father's house, but it was their stepmother's rules. And the rules were strange and suffocating. Imagine being told you can't sit on the leather chairs in the kitchen unless you've taken your daily shower. So, if you wanted to eat, you had to prove you were clean enough for the furniture. And because their father was a messy eater, eating in their own room was forbidden. It was a house of invisible walls and impossible standards. They were trying to get out. They had a plan. Learn to drive, get a car, and then find their own place. It was a solid plan for independence. But every time they asked for help with driving practice, the very people who were supposed to support them, their dad and stepmother, always had an excuse. An appointment. They were too tired. Maybe next week. Weeks turned into months. It was a classic trap. They were criticized for not being independent, while their every attempt at independence was quietly sabotaged. And then came the toilet paper incident. Their father's family came over one day. Not one or two people. 30 of them. The house was chaos, and they all used our storyteller's bathroom. When the crowd finally cleared, they realized every last square of toilet paper was gone. So they went to their stepmother and asked for a new roll. A simple, reasonable request. Her response was ice cold. A text message landed in their phone. So you're telling me that you only had one roll of toilet paper left? Your priorities are definitely in the wrong place. Think about that for a second. 30 people descend on your space, use up your supplies, and when you ask for a basic necessity, you're the one with the wrong priorities. How were they supposed to know an army of relatives was coming? No one told them anything. It was another reminder that in this house, they were not a family member. They were an inconvenience. The tension kept building, simmering under the surface of every interaction. And then, the stepmother decided to bring it all to a boil. She sent the message, the one she must have been composing in her head for months. It was a declaration of war. It started with a reminder of a promise made a year ago about moving out. I was giving you the opportunity and time to make plans instead of telling you to leave, she wrote, as if she were being generous. I refuse to go back and forth with anyone that I'm pretty much taking care of. You have been disrespectful and ungrateful. The accusations came fast and furious. You have your dad blocked from communicating while you're living in his home. It's the audacity for me. She conveniently ignored why they might have blocked him, painting them as the ungrateful child. She attacked them for the smallest act of self-preservation. You have the nerve to put your name on the food items you buy and put, "Do not touch," when you're using our refrigerator or cabinets to store them in. The food items we purchase, electricity, water, appliances, etc., for free. She saw a label on a carton of milk and didn't see a person trying to make sure they had something to eat. She saw an insult. An ungrateful tenant taking advantage of her. And here's the part that is just dripping with hypocrisy. She wrote, "I have to tell you when to clean up and even take showers." This, from the woman whose bizarre chair rule forced them to shower at night, long after she had gone to bed. She didn't see them shower, so in her mind, it simply didn't happen. The message ended with the final, crushing blow. You will be given a 30-day notice at the end of this month. You have been here long enough and should have enough money saved up. If not, you may want to reconcile with your mother, other family members, or make plans with your father. I'm not obligated to take care of you and I'm done. She hit send. And she waited. She probably imagined our storyteller reading that message, their world crumbling. She probably pictured them panicking, begging, apologizing. She saw herself as the one holding all the cards, finally kicking the problem out of her life. But what she didn't know was that she was texting an empty room. Because the day before that message ever arrived, our storyteller was already gone. Their aunt, a true savior, had driven down and picked them up. They didn't make a scene. They didn't have a final, screaming fight. They just packed their things, slipped out of the house, and disappeared into the night. No one even saw them leave. The freedom was immediate. They stopped in their hometown, saw old friends, and grabbed a real meal without worrying about who owned the refrigerator it came from. And then, instead of panicking about where to live, they went to a Cardi B concert in Dallas. They didn't just go, they entered and won a contest there. From a house where they were shamed over toilet paper, to a stadium where they were celebrated. The contrast is almost poetic. Their job transfer had already gone through. A new life was waiting. They were just chilling, breathing air that wasn't thick with resentment, waiting for their new start. And that's when the stepmother's text finally arrived. A day late and $1 short. All that anger, all those accusations, all that power she thought she was wielding, it just floated into the digital void, delivered to a person who was already miles away, living their life. That message wasn't an eviction notice. It was a confirmation. A confirmation that leaving was the single best decision they could have ever made. A confirmation that the person who wrote it didn't know them at all. She complained they didn't shower when they showered every night. She complained they weren't